I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're unraveling the secrets to business success in an amazing book. It is called Plan to Profit. It is written by Chuck Miller. And today we will discover why a solid business plan that so many businesses don't even have is your best tool to avoid failure and ensure growth in the highly competitive construction industry and other industries as well. Join us right now as we delve into effective planning strategies that transform standard operations into profitable ventures. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Books to Life Marketing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his wonderful book. The links are below this interview. Chuck, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Great to be here.
You've got more than just a little bit of experience in the construction industry. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been in the construction industry for over 50 years. I started as an apprentice carpenter in Chicago in 1968. And I've worked obviously as a carpenter, and then that paid my way through college. I graduated from school and went to work for some larger national companies. And in 1989, I came back to Boise and started my own company.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it's been a lot in remodeling, correct? And home construction. Tell us about your expertise.
But I was primarily a design build, custom home builder and remodeler. I was fortunate enough to get involved initially with a program called Building America, which was United States Department of Energy program. And the aim of that program was to build homes that were at least 50% more efficient than code required, and to do it without increasing the cost. And we were very successful, and a lot of that we developed in that program has made its way into the building codes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you are way ahead of your time, particularly with sustainability there. That's wonderful. Talk to me a little bit about construction businesses, home improvement companies, remodelers. There is a high level of business failure among these companies, correct?
Right. Small companies in the construction industry have the second highest failure rate of any industry. And I strongly believe, based on not only my research, but my career and what I've seen with my fellow builders and remodelers, that the primary reason was that they didn't have a plan, a written business plan. I would ask them, do you have a business plan? And they say, well, it's all right here in my head.
Exactly.
And those statistics are fairly consistent regardless of what the market is doing. So obviously, market are having a business plan is extremely important. And when I wrote the book, I focused not on just the standard business plan outline, but it starts and focuses on market research and analysis. Because what I've seen is a lot of very good builders who have failed simply because they built the wrong product at the wrong price in the wrong location at the wrong time.
Exactly, exactly. Location, 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 of course, is the first three tenets of the real estate industry. And obviously that spills over to construction as well. So it's not a good idea to have a plan up here. You need to have a plan on paper. I believe the Small Business Administration is a helpful resource for companies that are looking to put together a business plan. But in your book, it's actually has some tools for people in the industry as well. Tell us about what they'll find in the book.
Well, as I said, it all starts with market research because, as Peter Drucker said, uh, the aim of market research is to know your customer and understand them so well that the product sells itself.
Hmm.
And so many builders don't really understand that they look around and they follow what I talk about in the book as uh, follow the herd marketing.
Hmm.
So they look around at what's going on in the market. They see what everybody else is doing and just do the same thing. And the problem with following the herd is that unless you're at the front of the herd, uh, if you're at the back of the herd, you're gonna, at a minimum, step in a lot of dung, and you're gonna be the one that falls prey to the predators, the bankers, and uh, the market itself.
Exactly. They say if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. It's kind of the same concept. You're just looking at other people's backsides, which is not a great view, of course. In addition to not having a business plan, many businesses and companies don't have a budget, right?
Right. And one of the things, you know, I've been an active member of the National Association of Home Builders for over 30 years,
Hmm.
and they have some of the best educational programs available for the industry. And a lot of what I incorporated into the book, I learned from taking those courses and also being an instructor for the National Association. And so when I was running my own building business, I created a pro forma, a simple, well, not so simple, but an Excel spreadsheet
Hmm.
where you not only list your projected budget for the year, but you also uh, list your expenses. And in the book, I recommend that you do it for at least 2 years, uh, so that you do the pro forma for 2 years. That way, it's not a big task yearly because all you're doing is updating the one that you created for the year before and creating the new one based on your experience. Uh, but they say that it typically takes 3 to 6 months before you even get to a point where you're breaking even and making a profit.
Hmm.
It's important to understand that and to base all of your decisions on the financial implications.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got to have resources and a war chest for those rainy days in the first 6 months or longer. That's for sure. Included in your book is an Excel workbook, correct? Tell us about that.
Right. It's a workbook that I created that basically is a complete pro forma. So you it's set up based on the National Association of Home Builders chart of accounts. So you enter all of your known projects and your anticipated projects uh, on a monthly basis, and you can pretty much predict what your cash flow will be for any project, uh, since they're pretty standard. You know,
Hmm.
the schedule is the same, percentages for every different aspect of the project are the same. And so you can just plug those in and get basically a cash flow projection for the year. Uh,
Wonderful,
and
which is very, very helpful, of course. I'm sorry, what were we saying?
and then the budget is the big part so that you plug in uh, all of your known expenses and any anticipated expenses, and you can use that then to make decisions for managing your business. If you get to a point where you feel like you need additional help in the field, you can look at your budget and understand what the impact would be of adding that additional person or persons. And you can weigh your options. We're fortunate in Boise to have Boise State University, which has a very strong construction management program. And, so if you can't really afford to put somebody on full time, you can actually work with the construction management program and bring students in as interns because
Wow.
they're eager to learn, and you don't have to pay them a full salary because you're both benefiting from the relationship.
Exactly. That's a great resource. I know you say Boise has it. I'm sure other universities have it as well, and community colleges. It's an important resource for sure. Who is your target audience, Chuck, for this book? Who would profit from reading it?
My target audience was initially builders, remodelers, and trade contractors in the construction industry. The construction industry, particularly the residential construction industry, is made up of small companies. The membership of the NAHB, based on that, the majority of the companies have 4 or 5 employees. They're family owned. The owners wear numerous hats.
Mhm.
And the book is designed to help them analyze their strengths and their weaknesses and find out where they need assistance. And the idea behind the business plan, it's not something that you write, particularly to give to a lender to get financing. It's a, as I say in the book, the most important tool in your toolbox. And
Absolutely.
you don't just write it and put it on the shelf. You look at it on a quarterly or semi-annual basis, depending on what the market is doing, and how close you are to your original projections.
Absolutely. It's an invaluable resource. It's an important tool in an industry that is reliant, of course, on tools. This is one more tool for your toolbox. It's a book. It is called Plan to Profit. It is written by a great author. His name is Chuck Miller. He is a solid pro. He's got decades upon decades of success in this highly competitive field of construction, home building, and home remodeling. And he discusses in this book and shows you why a solid business plan is your best tool to avoid failure and ensure growth in the highly competitive construction industry. Chuck, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your time, sir. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.